Hello, Jerry here with Season 5, Episode 45 of Ask Jerry Tachoir. It has been some time since my last video, and for that I apologize. I've been very busy touring, recording, and just didn't have time to do it. And also I'd like to say, if you'd like to ask me a question, there's basically two ways of doing it. The best way is to go to my website, which is www.tachoir.com. That's Tachoir.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little tab. Click on that, fill out your name, ask your question, and it'll come straight to me, and I'll be able to get hold of it and perhaps do one of these videos. Or you can also comment on YouTube down in the bottom of this if you want to. That's a little bit harder for me to find, but I appreciate it. And we also ask that you please do subscribe to this channel. It helps out with the algorithm and getting the word out there. So it's real simple. It doesn't cost you anything. It's no big deal. Just click on the subscribe button and you'll be all set. Our question today comes from Steve in Washington State. Hi, Maestro Tachoir. First of all, I really enjoy your playing. You are so smooth. I've also benefited from your educational videos. They really help my playing. As I watch you play chords, you seem to be able to go from chord to chord without any hesitation and very little movement. I'm finding that there are certain voicings that I just can't seem to reach, and my mallets get tangled. Any suggestion would be helpful. Thanks in advance, Steve from Washington State. Steve, anybody that plays 4 mallets on a mallet instrument, vibes, marimba, has the same issues from time to time. The bars don't move, they're staying right there, and sometimes for us to get to like real tight chords, like a C diminished chord in root position, it's really hard. You have to really bring your arms in to get where you need to be, and you're playing on the end of the bars in this case because you can't really get to the center of the bars. So there's going to be issues like that. No matter what you do, it's just going to happen. You have to figure out ways to try to do it. What I have found is if we can take these small chords that are within an octave and expand them, making them bigger, two things will happen. One, you'll get a bigger sound, which means you can be more aggressive as a player. And the second thing is it allows you more space then to manipulate your mallets to go from chord to chord in smooth voice leading fashion, which is a desirable trait. Let me give you an example. Here's a C major 7 chord in root position, right? C, E, G, B, right? So all I'm going to do is exchange places with the outside 2 voicings. The major 7 that's on the top, I'm going to put it on the bottom. The root that's on the bottom, I'm going to put it on the top. So I'm taking the same chord. Now the problem with this chord, and I've said it many times, is your outside 2 voicings creates a flat 9 interval. Undesirable interval in music. We try to avoid that unless it's an effect that you really really want. In this case, let's say if I don't want that much distance. Well, all you could do then is substitute tension 9 for the root. Now the root is on the top, it's up here. So I'm going to go ahead up one more note and I'm going to add the tension 9. So here's the original chord, here's the one exchanging places, and here's the one with tension 9. So each time you can hear the chord getting a little bit warmer, a little bit bigger, more powerful. Now, when you have a chord like this, well, let me change it a little. Let me go to C minor 7. So here's the chord that I'm at. In my left hand, B flat, E flat, my right hand, G, and a D, tension 9. Now, if I want to get to an F7, okay, what I'm trying to do for voice leading is figure out what notes can stay and what notes need to move. Well, the B flat has to go. I need an A. So I'm going to go down here and put an A. And then the E flat can stay, the G can stay, that's a tension 9, and even the D can stay, becomes a 13. If I didn't want that 13, I could bring it down to the 5th. So here's how the chord goes. C minor 7, F7, very little motion. Now from here, I want to get to a B flat major 7. Well, I got the major 7 down here already. I need to get rid of this E flat. That can come down to the D. I can keep the G, that becomes a 13. And I can keep the C up here, which is my tension 9. Or I can get rid of this G, the 13, and put the 5th in. So here's the chord progression. Let me start from the beginning. C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7. So you can see simply by spreading the mallets out, covering more of the keyboard, it gives you more room then to move from chord to chord smoothly and keeping that voice leading thing going where you don't have to move that much and you're keeping constant tones, and it just makes sense and sounds really great to be able to do that. There are going to be times where you're going to have to find chords in order to lay into your hand that feel a little bit better but look weird. And I'll give you an example. Here's another C minor 7, but I want to make it smaller than all. I'm going for a little powerful chord with a prime dissonance in the middle, which is a half step. So the chord is B flat on the bottom, E flat up here on my left hand, and then my right hand is actually below the E flat playing the D, and then I'm going to play the G. Okay, so here's a C minor 7 chord, and instead of playing it this way, which gets, like I said, which gets a little harder, I'm doing it in my left hand where I'm splitting those two notes, and then my right hand is splitting these two notes. And they're crossing. In other words, my right hand is below what my left hand is playing. And again, you can see it. It's pretty easy. If you played it traditionally where you're playing this note, then it becomes hard to get to in a hurry, just because of the nature of, you have to like manipulate your arms and contort them to get there where you can play as much as in the center of the bars as possible. But this way, it just lays real easy, and I'm staying right in the center of the bars, as opposed to this, right? So these are things that you have to work out yourself. It takes time. You have to, again, expand the chord bigger than an octave, give you the room to manipulate your mallets to get from chord to chord voicing easily. And then you have to start looking at, okay, if you're playing everything left, right, left, right, left, right, or however you're doing it to get to the right, notes of the chord, sometimes you have to evaluate that and say, is there a better way than this position, which is like a normal thing, like going this way would be normal, where you have your left hand playing the first two notes and your right hand playing the upper two notes. But sometimes just by doing things like this makes it a little bit easier to get to, where you're borrowing your left hand, your right hand's playing your left hand mallet, and I don't know if you understand what I mean, but they're crossing to the point where it doesn't look right, but it's easier to play. And these are things that I'm dealing with all the time, to try to manipulate chord voicings going from chord to chord smoothly and easily, staying in the center bars as much as possible where the essence of the note really is, and not getting tangled. So if you are getting tangled, you're having a hard time getting from chord to chord smoothly, these are things you need to work on. And it just takes time. It's not like a magic bullet where you can just take it and go with it. Spend the time, look what your mallets are doing, and make adjustments to give you more room and to prevent your hands from getting all messed up. And again, it's a hard thing to explain, but I hope this helped. Anyway, appreciate it. You take care, and please do ask me questions. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll do some more of these videos. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.